Hello, it's Moon Kamuk here today with a frog sorter design. Now you might be wondering, why is this even needed? Well, if you have a frog light farm, most of the designs they just have all different frogs in the same pit. But then if you only use one type of frog light more than the others, you might want to be able to control which one it is, and when they're mixed, it's hard to do that. So this contraption here automatically sorts the frog by the color. So just an overview. It sorts it by whatever frog light each frog variant creates. So essentially, the frog here eats an item, which goes into the standard item filter, which then goes into essentially a Norlatch thing in case the frog is really quick and eats multiple. And then that there essentially controls one of the pistons to determine which mud block essentially transfer from above down to below onto the Pacific rail. And then there you go. So there's that. So looking at it specifically, the build size is essentially 4x11. Looking top down, with the one exception is this piston here sticking a little out. So go into more specific building details. It starts with the slab and the trapdoor here, just to make sure that the frog and the magma cube are as close as possible. And then it goes into the standard item sorter, and then items within. You have that. This here could be any filter item. You could rename them to prevent in case somehow you drop that one item into the hopper, not to break it. Then at the front here we have this system to connect it into this line, going up in this piston that releases the frog. And then essentially whenever that item gets sorted, it pushes the item from this side onto this side, and they just point into each other here. So there's essentially one unstackable in this row, and then from there there's a detector rail here, block here, and then the comparators there. And then if it's the first couple, you have it going to the torch up into the sticky piston onto the mud blocks. This fifth one here is needed because otherwise the frogs that go onto this one would take damage, so that mud block is needed. And then the last one here, since it's not filtering anything else, we don't need that top section. And then the outputs here, that's triggered by the essentially the detector rail coming off, inverted into a torch, would essentially act as your detector to send the next frog into the system. Now, for demonstration purposes, I just have hooked up into a randomizer to spawn a random variant of frog, and also summon the minecart and magma cube to keep the system going. And it can be built in the Neverworld in any rotation, just that it gets a little wonky with the rails. So essentially, for the detector rails here, that's sloped. Depending on which rotation, it could just be as simple as that to build the design. Come on, my block. There we go. You just do that. But then in this other rotation, well, actually, okay, it worked there. Sometimes you might have to mess around with the order how you place blocks, because otherwise it might snap the wrong direction, or that kind of stuff. Oh, actually, wait a second here. I know why now. Because essentially, let's do something like that, and that's fine. Do that. But then if you do that, as you can see, it does something wonky there. So you have to be kind of careful on the build order. Second here. Do that. I should do a normal rail here actually. Do that. Yeah, I did power rail after the turn. So essentially you can do that kind of thing and go forth that way. And then if it's this side, I'll just do that for now. Do that. Just doing this. Oh yeah, that. And there you go. Yeah, you might just have to fiddle around with the rail order of how you build it so the rails stay at this sloped angle. Now I believe that is it, so have a good day.